Guys, what's going on? YouTube. What's good, guys? It's your boy TD, and I'm back again with another live, guys. And today's live is going to be on 10 wide receivers that you must start in your Week 17 championship. Now, listen, these guys might not necessarily be guys that are obvious. These could be some obvious guys, or they could be some guys that's on the borderline. I feel comfortable with going down with the ship with these guys. So that's why I want to talk about 10 of my guys that I believe that you should be started. Now, if you got better quality players or better studs, then you also can sit these guys, right? So it is not these are just guys that you automatically hear me say, and then you automatically put them in your lineup. The power is yours. I'm just telling you, I'm giving you affirmation and confirmation that it's okay to do it. So, guys, with no further ado, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. Okay, so you ready to go in there with mommy? And I'll be in there, okay? I'll be in there. I'll be in there. Okay, so let's begin, guys. The first wide receiver, guys, and guys, make sure you spam the chat, put the 100 symbol, let me know that you support the channel, guys. So, the first wide receiver that I believe is a must start for your Week 17 championship is Nico Collins. Yes, guys, Nico Collins. And the reason why I got Nico Collins in this video, because he's been a stud, but I got him in this video because CJ Stroud is there. And so with CJ Stroud being there, guys, I feel great about starting Nico Collins. CJ Stroud pushes the ball downfield no matter what happens. CJ Stroud can have a bad game, and Nico can still be a top 24 wide receiver. So play Nico Collins. Moving on to my number 2 wide receiver, guys, is Rashid Shaheed. Yes, guys, Rashid Shaheed. Guys, with Michael Thomas being out the whole year, with Chris Olave not being a real true alpha, and Taysom Hill being put to the back burner, and Alvin Kamara going through an injury right now. He probably is going to be healthy, but he's going through an injury. I feel comfortable in playing Rashid Shaheed. I said what I said. I feel comfortable in playing Rashid Shaheed. He's a big play guy. He's a boom bust, so he's a flex type guy. Don't put him in to get 12 targets. Put him in to get that 70-yard touchdown bomb. Because Derek Carr like pushing the ball down to Rashid Shaheed. He's actually Rashid Shaheed's favorite target. That doesn't mean that he hyper targets him like he does Chris Olave, but he does take deep shots with him more than any other wide receiver or player on this team. So Rashid Shaheed, guys, is a must start for me. Going on to my number 3 guy. And remember what I said, because I said they must start don't mean you have to start them. I mean that if you don't have anybody else, then you start them. Don't start these guys over studs, right? But you can start these guys if you got players that are on the borderline. But going on to my number 3 guy is Chris Godwin. Guys, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. My number 3 guy is Chris Godwin. Listen, Chris Godwin is leading his team in targets the last 3 weeks. He's been getting at least 10 targets the last 3 weeks, guys, if you average out his numbers. So I feel good with playing Chris Olave, especially with Baker Mayfield pushing the ball downfield and looking real good. Baker Mayfield's probably going to get a deal because of the way he's been playing. So play Chris Godwin. Moving on to my number 4 guy, guys, is Demario Douglas. Yes, guys, Demario Douglas. And the reason why I like Demario Douglas is because Bailey Zappi, this is his first read on most of the plays. They don't got any wide receivers who can get open quick. Juju Smith-Schuster cannot get open quick. Devontae Parker cannot get open quick. Even Hunter Henry can't get open quick. Ezekiel Elliott is just an outlet. The guy that can separate on routes, according to PFF, is Demario Douglas. So I'm willing to play him. He should get 10 to 12 targets. He's the best wide receiver on his team. Now, Devontae Parker is the deep threat guy. Hunter Henry is the red zone guy. But the guy who they're going to trust to get the ball out on a 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 5 is going to be Demario Douglas. He's the quickest wide receiver on this team. One of the quickest wide receivers in the league. I said what I said. The guy can get open. He's one of those slot receivers that New England find almost every single year. So, moving on to my number 5 guy is Michael Pittman. Yes, guys, Michael Pittman. Listen, Gardner Minshew, they have a tough matchup, but Michael Pittman is past concussion protocol. I'm willing to play Michael Pittman with Gardner Minshew, and that means I'm willing to play Gardner Minshew too. So if it ain't no Michael Pittman, I'm not playing Gardner Minshew. Vice versa with those 2 guys. So I'm willing to, guys, put Michael Pittman out in my lineup starting this week. I know some of us might be worried about that concussion. I'm not. It's championship time. So it is what it is. Put him in there, and you can't control the output. The guy's starting. You don't want to not have the guy in. Look what happened with Joe Flacco last night. Joe Flacco, he was missing Amari Cooper, but he had boomed the week before. So if you took him out, you was playing a matchups. And I always tell you, don't play matchups with your guys. Go down with the ship. If you believe in the player, then play him. If you play matchups, you're gonna miss 9 times out of 10, because if it was all about matchups, then we wouldn't have a Super Bowl. We were like, oh well, guess what? Baltimore gonna win the Super Bowl. It's over. We ain't even gotta play it. No, you gotta let the game play. So when guys overcome matchups, so I like Michael Pittman. Moving on, guys, to my number 6 guy is Terry McLaurin. I said what I said is Terry McLaurin. The reason why, guys, I like Terry McLaurin is because I believe that he's going to get what's going on with your dollar bill. I believe that Terry McLaurin is going to get hyper targeted. I believe Jacoby Brissett is going to be hyper targeted. They're going to be down from the 49ers. 49ers is going to probably be up by 2 touchdowns, and it's going to be in garbage time mode, and Terry McLaurin is going to eat. Terry McLaurin ain't going to the playoffs, so he want to get his numbers up so he can keep getting his deals. So he going to be getting about 10 targets, and that secondary can be had from the San Francisco 49ers. So I like Jacoby Brissett pushing the ball downfield to Terry McLaurin, guys. So I'm playing Terry McLaurin. Moving on to my number 7 guy. Now, just because I like a guy don't mean I don't like the DST that the team playing against. A guy can get off and the DST can still hit. Look at Cleveland. Cleveland defense hit last night, but Breach Hall still got off. So don't get off a guy just because I say a guy is going to hit. Now, some of these guys, if multiple players are going to hit, then that's different. But a guy can get off and the defense can still hit. I don't want you to know that. On the running back or wide receiver. Quarterbacks is a little bit different. So, George Pickens. Yes, guys, I like George Pickens, and the reason why is because of what he did last week. And guys, when it comes to sports, professional sports, it's not like rec league, it's not like school ball. College is a little different too. If you ball out, they're gonna get you the ball. They got to, because they got fans they gotta appease. There's no way you're gonna go out and get George Pickens no 3 targets. If you give George Pickens 3 targets, then Mike Tomlin his job needs to be called. I'm not saying he should be fired, but they should believe. What is wrong with you, Mike? What's wrong with you? Mike ain't gonna do that. So I expect George Pickens to get 8 to 10 targets easily. Now, if he connect on enough to be a top 12 wide receiver, we don't know. But at this point, we got to go with the targets. We don't know who gonna dominate. It's only a few players that we know gonna dominate tomorrow. Sunday. That's gonna be CMC against Washington, and that may be Justin Jefferson. Right? Some of those players. Outside of that, we don't know who's gonna dominate. We just gonna go with the guy who's gonna get a lot of the targets or the opportunities. And George Pickens is one of those guys because he balled last week. I would have played Amari Cooper last. If he'd have been active, I would have played Amari Cooper. And if he'd have been on a limited snap count, no. But if Amari Cooper would have been healthy, I don't care. I'm playing my studs. Nobody makes me bench my studs. I don't miss games like that. Do I get bad games from studs? Yes, I do, because I go down with that ship, and I'm okay with that. It's my Oxum Razum type mentality. Shout out to my boy, Silence. He told me, he said, man, you one of the best fantasy contents with your Oxum Razor type mentality. I'm going down with the ship and I keep it simple. I'm not going through all the analytics. Now I do use analytics per se, depending on the circumstances, right? Content, right? It's sometimes I have to get a little analytical, but most of the time I'm keeping it simple. I'm playing my studs. So moving on, guys, play George Pickens. Moving on to a number 8 guy. This guy's kind of a sleeper guy. He's kind of a sleeper guy, and it's Quentin Johnson. Yes, guys, Quentin Johnson. The reason why I'm playing Quentin Johnson, guys, because Keenan Allen is out. So you have to go into Easton Stick, got to push the ball downfield to see what Quentin Johnson got. So if you need a wide receiver, say one of your wide receivers are going to be out, right? Say Courtland Sutton doesn't make it, and you can go pick up Quentin Johnson. Why not pick up Quentin Johnson and play him at the flex and see what happens? I'm willing to go down with that type of ship. I'm not going to go down with no real safe guy and he only gonna give me 8 points when I can go and play a Quentin Johnson who can boom. I'm not telling you Quentin Johnson is a must start. He's a must start, but he's not a start over your stud. But if you ain't got nobody else right there and you looking for a guy, go with that upside, go with that boom right there. So I like Quentin Johnson, guys. Moving on, I got 2 more guys for you guys. Make sure you spam the chat. If you got any questions, guys, let me know. If you got any questions, let me know. Going on to my number 9 guy is Jaden Reed. Yes, guys, Jaden Reed. And the reason why I like Jaden Reed, guys, is because I believe this is his number 1 target when Christian Watson is out over Romeo Dobbs. So even if Dontavius Wicks is out, I feel great about playing Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers winning when Jaden Reed is on the field. I see you, Brian Ortega. Yes, sir. Yep. Don't surprise that Keenan is out. Right. So Jaden Reed, guys, to me is going to be getting hyper targeted, and he's going to be getting in the rounds, right? He's going to be getting in the rounds, and he's going to be getting manufactured targets. And I'm okay with playing a guy like a Jaden Reed. I think he's a really good player. I'm not saying he's the best wide receiver when Christian Watson's on the field, but when Christian Watson is off, he is the best wide receiver on this team. And last but not least, guys, number 10 is Jerry Jeudy. I'm going ahead and tell you right now, I have a league where I have Gardner Minshew and I have Jared Stidham, and I'm thinking about playing Jared Stidham. Yes, I'm thinking about playing Jared Stidham against the Chargers, and the reason why I'm thinking about that, guys, is because Jared Stidham, if you remember last year, he went off against Devontae Adams, had like what 3 touchdowns in the championship game. Jared Stidham was the quarterback because Derek Carr was out, and he balled. Now I'm not saying this is exact same thing is going to happen, but I don't think the Chargers defense is really that bad. I mean, they really that good. I believe with Sean Payton being able to trust Jared Stidham, even wanting to put him in the game, I think this guy could be okay. And I'm willing to take 2 touchdowns with a nice 17, 18 points. And that I think Jerry Jeudy is going to get targeted because they're going to want to find out about Jerry Jeudy. I won't be surprised if Jerry Jeudy is traded or signed and trade or just released. Let him go on to another team. So I think they're going to try to find out what Jerry Jeudy can do, especially with Courtland Sutton having an injury and also Marvin Mims having a little slight injury. Jerry Jeudy is going to have to step up because they don't have anybody else. Good matchup too. So I'm willing to play Jerry Jeudy this week, guys. If you have him on your bench, I'm not telling you to sit none of your studs, but you can play Jerry Jeudy, guys. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. So let me go through some of these comments before I get out of here, guys. Make sure you spam the comment section, guys, with the 100 symbol to let me know that you're watching the whole live, that you support it. Dollar Bill, what's going on with you, bruh? Harambe, what's up with you, bruh? Charlene says, good afternoon, TD. Good afternoon, Charlene. Brian says, TD, I am the underdog. I need a wide receiver too. I have really Jordan, Jaden Reed, Addison, or pick up Rasheed or Pickens. Let me see. You need a wide receiver. Ridley makes me nervous because Trevor Lawrence is out. I like Reed. He was hurt last week, but I think he's going to be okay. Addison, I don't know if he's going to play. Shaheed is a boom and bust. I think you got to go with. I would probably go with Pickens over Reed. I would go with Pickens over Reed. I like Addison, but I don't know how many targets that Jaron Hall is going to be able to give to him. So I'm gonna go with Pickens, especially at what he did. I'm willing to go down with that ship with Pickens. Charlene says, "Don't be surprised that Keenan Allen is out right." I see you, Brian. And Johnny. I'm sorry. Excuse me, Johnny. Johnny says Pollard or Zamir or Ty or Gus. Man, I'm gonna get cutting edge right here. So I'm gonna say if Josh Jacobs is out, man, play Zamir. But if Josh Jacobs is active, maybe on the snap count or something like that, I'm going with Gus over Ty Chandler. And Pollard. I like Gus Elwood's touchdown upside against the Miami Dolphins. But and I would say I like Zamir over Gus, but I would rank him as Zamir, Gus, Pollard, and Ty. I'm a little nervous with Ty. I think they're going to get Alexander Madison more opportunities. That's to slow the game down. They got a backup quarterback in there like Jared Hall. So why not give 15 carries apiece to your 2 running backs if you can? That's what I believe. Elise, what's going on with your girl? She says Jaden Reed, Lockett, Flowers, pick one, half PPR. We don't know if DK going to play. It doesn't really matter. Lockett's still going to get some targets. So we going at half PPR. We need people with touchdown upside. Touchdown upside really matters in half point PPR. I'm gonna go with Flowers if he's fully healthy. We need to see him fully healthy. We need to make sure he's fully healthy. So watch what's going on with the injury history. If he's okay, I'm going with Flowers, and then I'm gonna go with Jaden Reed slightly over Lockett. So I'm gonna go with Flowers if he's fully healthy, right? We don't hear anything about him nagging a nagging injury. Then I'm gonna go with Jaden Reed. Then I'm gonna go with Lockett. Yeah. So Jacobs being doubtful is Zamir White all day. They're gonna run the heck out of it. He's gonna get 20 touches. So Zamir White, he is a star. Arambi says worried about Kamara. He's sick. I know, but you have to if he's active and they say he's a full go, you have to play him. Unless you got like somebody like Jonathan Taylor or Zamir White to replace him, and then you got to be okay with him booming while he's sick. Players play better when they sick, guys. I remember me. I was sick one year. I had the flu, and I played good. Your body that is something that your body pull from when you sick. You usually play good. There's a lot of stuff in history with that with people going through when a lot of like human like type trafficking type stuff that's went out through the history of human race, and people have done incredible things when they were sick. So I just like I believe in that. Michael Jordan sick game. I've seen other people sick games. So I think of Kamara if he's practicing and he's okay, he's not on a limited snap basis. I would play him. Charlene says Walker is question. You talking about the guy from Seattle, Kenneth Walker. Yes, he is questionable. Zach Charbonnet, if Kenneth Walker doesn't play, you know what Zach Charbonnet is. He's a top 16 running back easily. He's a must start guy. Brian, what's up with you, bro? He says, yes, sir. Your advice being A1 got me through the offs. Thank you. Time for this chip. Picking up pickings right now. Thank you, bro. Anytime, bro. Like I said, I ain't always right, but I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I will go down with Pickens, bro. I will go down with Pickens, even though I like the Seattle matchup. I like Seattle, but I'm playing. I gotta play Pickens. Nino says Stroud back from the injury or Stafford versus New York Giants. You got to go with Stafford. I love Stroud, but I got to go with Stafford. I got to go with Stafford. Right, yeah, he back from the concussion. Charlene says drop Keenan Allen and pick up Gabe Davis. Yeah, I don't know who's going to play Gabe Davis. I'm not playing Gabe Davis. I'm not touching Gabe Davis with a 10-foot. Oh, he can go for 80 points. He can outdo Amari Cooper from last week, and I'm like, oh, congratulations. I don't want none of that. I can't take no zero. Not that type of volatile guy and go down with that ship. I can't go down with a ship that had holes in it before. Right? I can't go down with that. But I understand what you're saying. If it was like another week going on and I could stash him maybe, or Stephon Diggs and Khalil Herbert, I'm not Khalil Herbert, but Khalil, I forgot his last name. If he was out, maybe, or Dalton Kincaid, maybe. Yep. Harami says MJ. Yep. Remember when MJ was on that sick game? Correct. Nino says Zamir, Bijan, or Pittman if he plays at the flex. I think you got to go with Bijan slightly over Zamir. If you want to go with Zamir, I wouldn't be mad at you. I would go with Bijan. I think you need to get Bijan and Zamir in the lineup over Pittman. Pittman is good, but I'm not playing him over Bijan and Zamir with Josh Jacobs being out. I'm playing Bijan and Zamir 100%. Harami says, got a brain buster for you, TD. Okay. CEH with no Pacheco or JSN with no DK. I'm going with CEH with no Pacheco because you are the running back. If it's even, you got to go with the running back over the receiver. If it's even. So whenever if it's CMC or Tyreek Hill, then I'm gonna go with CMC in a game. Not not drafting, but in a game. If I got to choose a money lineup and I got to pick between CMC or Tyreek, I'm going with CMC because I know CMC getting all goal line opportunities. So if Pacheco is out with Jared McKinnon gone, I'm not worried about no what's the backup guy? P. Ryan, LaMichael P. Ryan. I'm going with CEH. I think CEH getting all goal line opportunities. And you know they're gonna play for Pat Mahomes to pass it. You know they're gonna give him that respect. So I'm going with CEH slightly over JSN. I like JSN with no DK. I like that you put that. Stafford or DK? Woo, that's cutting edge. I'm going with Stafford over DK. I hate, it's championship week, so I will pick over two quarterbacks. Detroit do got a weak secondary. But I believe Stafford got more weapons and they dive between letting Stafford throw the ball around the field. So I'm gonna go. That's tough. That's tough. You know what, man? Because of Detroit secondary, I'm gonna go with Dak. I'm gonna go with Dak over Stafford. I changed that, Dollar Beer. I'm going with Dak over Stafford. Dak over Stafford, bro. No doubt. Nino said that's tough, Dollar Bill. I see more passing for Dak. Right, Nino. I agree with you, Nino. That's why I went on with Dak. I agree with that. Especially with the Detroit secondary not being that good. Brian says, got B. John and Gibbs locked in. Yes, sir. Two young running backs. That's how you win. That's that fourth quadrant that I've been talking about because them guys ain't been balling the whole season. Jameer Gibbs been balling what, the last 7 weeks? B. John been balling the last 3 weeks. Need a flex spot though. Chiefs running back Zamir or K9. I'm going with Zamir over Kansas City. CEH. I'm going with Zamir even over K9. Harambe, he says, I agree. I have Mahomes and Rice also, so it would be a triple threat. Yes, and I love that. I love stacking teams like that, especially if you believe in the offense. The Kansas City ain't been what they supposed to be. Guys, make sure you hit the like button. We got 7 likes in here. We got 14 people in the chat. Let's get the likes up. But since I have Mahomes and Rice also, so it would be a triple threat. Right, correct. Elisa says Rashad White, Bijan, James Cook, or Gibbs. Please pick 3. Thanks, TD. I'm going with Gibbs, Bijan, and White. Gibbs, Bijan, and White. Kale says I've been betting on David Njoku to break out. For 2 years. Kales, you know me and you've been on him. You've been following me for about 2 years. I've been making a bunch of videos about David Njoku. That's how I do my content. Guys might not hit right away, but I believe in the talent. He says breakout for 2 years. That man can ball. The last of the great Miami tight ends, right? Right. He was the last one after Kellen Renslow, right? Jimmy Graham, and Kellen Renslow. Charlene says Waller. I like Waller. I would play him, especially if I don't have a tight end, I need to stream. I would stream Waller. I don't mind streaming Waller. He's more healthy than he's been in a long time. So I don't mind, especially with Tyrod Taylor. The last big game he had, Waller balled. I mean, the last big game that Tyrod Taylor had, Waller balled out. Waller was the number 1 tight end that week. And then the next week, Daniel Jones came in and he got hurt. Seal, what's up, bro? Glad to see you here. Make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe to this channel, guys. This is cutting edge content. Seal says need a flex, Diggs or A-Chain. I'm going with Diggs over A-Chain. I like A-Chain this week, but I can't play him over Diggs. Diggs is the number 1 wide receiver. You got to go down with the ship. Browns are good. They are good. They got a good defense. Their coach is good. I love their offensive philosophy. With Kevin Stefanski, I love that play action, go to the tight ends. Remember, I'm a Cowboy fan, so I love the run game. I love to establish the run game. I believe once you establish the run game, you can be head. Even the Miami Dolphins, that's how they play. With Raheem Mostert and A-Chain, they try to establish that run, and that's what the Browns do. With Jerome Ford, Kareem Hunt, and with Nick Chubb before he went down. So I'm okay with that. I like the Browns too. Dollar Bill says I have Tyreek, but I have the Ravens defense. I don't think you need to worry about that. If you got to start the Ravens, if you don't have a better defense, you do it. I wouldn't start the coach defense. He says I have the coach defense too. Sit the Ravens defense because I have Tyreek. No, go ahead and play Tyreek Hill and play the Ravens defense. Go ahead and do that. Tyreek Hill can have one 70-yard touchdown and another 80 yards receiving for 7 to 8 catches, which puts him as a top 12 wide receiver, and they only score 12 points. He scored that one touchdown. The rest of them was field goals. Baltimore dominated. They sat 2 or 3 or 4 times. So you do don't balance it out that way. Don't try to balance the defense out because you got the wide receiver. Now, if you had Tyreek, Raheem Mostert, and Tua, then that would be something different. That would be something different. KL says Jeremy Shocking with the mic. Right. We were just talking about the latest ones, but it's a bunch of them. Warren Sapp. Now he didn't play tight ends in the pros, but he came in there at like 240, and he was the top tight end in the nation. He was a real good tight end, and they switched him to D tackle, and the rest is history. It's a bunch of other really good tight ends that they had come through there too. Mr. Anderson, what up, bro? You like Higgins or Aaron Jones in the flex? I like Aaron Jones over Higgins in the flex. I don't really want to play any pass catchers from Cincinnati. I'm willing to play. I'm Aaron Jones. I got to give him respect. The last 2 years, I've been talking about A.J. Dillon was going to take his position, and guess what? I was wrong. Aaron Jones got Aaron Jones got a certain type of specialty. He's very explosive. That's why his hamstrings go out a lot. And A.J. Dillon is not explosive like that. He's a good back. I believe he will be good. Hopefully he'll lose some weight and get more quicker. But Aaron Jones is him. You got to play Aaron Jones in the championship. Green Bay is probably going to push to go to the playoffs. They're going to win this game, and they're going to try to win next week. Not against Minnesota, but I think Chicago. JC, what up, bro? He said, you like Fields or Stafford? I like Fields. Got to go with that upside. You got to go with, I like Stafford. Both of them are great quarterbacks, but Fields got that rushing upside. Guys, make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe to this channel. JC says, and in another league, golf for Stafford. I'm going with Stafford over golf. And bonuses for 300 yards. Yeah, Stafford over golf. Robbie says, got another one, TD. You good, bro? Let's keep them coming. He says, JSN with no DK, possibly huge workload, right? Or Zay Flowers leaning towards Flowers, but weather may be nasty. Remember, we don't care about weather. As long as it ain't like disgusting, right? I mean, it could be a typhoon, and that might be different, like with wind like 30 miles per hour or something. But rain and wet and all that doesn't matter. Remember, Lamar had one of his best games in the rain. Not the last week's game, but a couple of weeks before then. So if DK don't play, I will go with JSN if DK doesn't play over Zay Flowers. So I will go with JSN. If DK don't play, I will go with over Zay Flowers. It's all about DK. All right, guys, I'm waiting on the questions. So if y'all let me know. I'm gonna give a few maybe a minute or two. Let me see. Anything I want to talk about? JC says, what are some other wide receivers you like this week to fill in for Amari that might be available? Demario Douglas, Terry McLaurin, anytime Arabi. Um, Terry McLaurin, Demario Douglas, Quentin Johnson, and Jerry Judy. I like some of those guys. Kel says I made it to the championship game with losing Chubb and made the playoffs in the 7 seed, being 7-7, beating the number 1 and number 2. I told you I don't want to play the number 6 seed because they still working that waiver wire and they got those booming players that's coming down the stretch. He says team on my way to the ship, talking about getting hot. Yes, sir. Brian says if DK don't play, JSN or Pickens. If DK don't play, I'm going with JSN over Pickens. If DK don't play, I'm going with JSN over Pickens. JSN gonna ball out. He gonna get super duper targeted if DK don't play. I love Pickens and he balled out, but that'll be JSN time. That'll be time to get cute. I will go with JSN over Pickens. That's a great question, Bryant. I'm going with JSN over Pickens. JC says I have Thielen right now. Thielen is okay. Let me know. Give me about 2 or 3 guys off the waivers. Give me 2 or 3 guys off the waivers. Sally said, what defense you recommend this week? I like the Las Vegas Raiders. I like the Las Vegas Raiders. I like Denver. Las Vegas Raiders, and I like Denver. Um, that's it right now. That's all I can think off the top of the head right now. Off the top of the head, I'm playing the Las Vegas Raiders. I like Seattle too. I'm playing Seattle as a defense too. CHB, what up, bro? He says championship time. Puka just became questionable. If he's out, would you play Drake London? Yes, I will play Drake London if he's out. If that's the best option you got, I'm okay with going down with the ship with Drake London. 619 Bengals fan. He said, bro, happy New Year. Steelers defeat defense or Niners defense? I'm going with the Niners defense. I'm going with the Niners defense. I'm worried about garbage time. Be careful with garbage time. They could take their starters out. You know they probably go if they up 2 or 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, they're gonna take Nick Bosa out. They don't want Nick Bosa to hurt his knee or Chase Young to hurt his knee or whatever at the end of the game. So that's the only thing. I think Seattle can still put up 14 to 21 points easily. I don't know how your scoring format goes. So you just got to be careful with garbage time. But I think the 49ers definitely do get a lot of sacks and play really good. They on a rebound game. They upset. So they're going to have a great game. JC says Chark, Dortch, or Dotson. DJ Chark do 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 DJ Chark do 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 DJ Chark do 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 DJ Chark. I will go with DJ Chark over Greg Dortch and Dotson. I can't trust Johan Dotson. Even with Jacoby Brissett, I can't trust him. Greg Dortch, I can't trust him either with Kyler Murray running around making plays to different guys. Detroit secondary. Yes, I'm worried about Detroit secondary. I don't they could be head with Dak. So that's why I'm not riding with Detroit with their secondary. Their secondary is not that good. They can get an interception here and there. They're a good coach team, but they just have no talent. They still got a couple. They need to get some corners and get their safety back healthy. CAB said, how do you feel about Derek Carr and Jared Hart? I would go with Derek Carr over Jared Hart. Derek Carr gonna throw the ball 35 times a game. So that's one thing about Derek Carr. Derek Carr is a sneaky start this week just off of volume and garbage time. That's what he is. Those guys win championships, guys. Garbage time and volume can win you a championship. He could go out there and throw you 2 picks, but he might throw 4 touchdowns, especially late. He did it the other night. He was playing garbage, and then he got 2 touchdowns in the last 5 minutes. He ended up being a top 5 quarterback with those numbers. Sully says, thanks. I'm rolling with the Raiders. You told me to play them 2 weeks ago, and it won my game, Super Bowl, bruh. Hey, like I said, I could be wrong, but I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna trust my process. My process, I hit more times with my process than I lose. I'm 70% with my process. Playing your studs. It ain't nothing cute. It's just Occam Razor. Shout out to my homeboy Silence. Guys, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. This is vlog and fantasy football. I know a lot of you might want to turn off of this, but like, man, he ain't got no studio. Why I need a studio? You tell me, tell every YouTuber to get a studio and put the sounds. I know I might talk and might get dull to you, but I'm just chopping it up. That's what my YouTube channel is about. I'm doing my live. I'm still doing my live. Let's see. JC said, also, I have Judy, Demarcus Robinson on my bench. I would go with Jerry Judy over Demarcus if Cortland Sutton is out. If Cortland Sutton is out, it's close. I would say it's a tie between Demarcus Robinson and Judy, but Demarcus Robinson got more touchdown upside. So I would probably go with Demarcus if Cortland Sutton and Marvin Mims plays. If Marvin Mims don't play, I still will go. But if Cortland Sutton is out, I'm going with Jerry Judy. If Cortland Sutton is out, I'm going with Jerry Judy. I just said, Pops, yes, sir. JC says those are my waiver options over Thielen. Right, right. And I think I gave you a couple. I would go with Judy if Cortland Sutton is out. If Cortland Sutton ain't out, then I would go ahead and go with Thielen over DeMarcus. But Jerry Judy, if Cortland Sutton is out, is better than Thielen. CAB says Jalen Ferguson or likely. I'm going with Ferguson against that secondary of Detroit. I'm going with Ferguson. I like likely, but they don't need likely to win the game. So I'm going with Ferguson. Ortega says Raiders D or Broncos D. That's a good one. I'm going with the Raiders defense over the Broncos D. The Raiders is a new team. They tough. I like that. I'm going with the Raiders D slightly. They can rush the pass, especially if you get points for sacks. I don't think the Broncos can get to the quarterback as good as they should. Harami says got weird with it and started last night. Browns kicker would have been huge if the Browns didn't score so many touchdowns. He finished with 7. Not bad, right? Hey, you got cute or weird, whatever you want to say it, bro. Hey, you went down. I don't got nothing to say about that. I don't like I said, man. Especially when it comes to kickers, guys. I don't say I hate kickers. It's so volatile. You don't know what's gonna happen. Outside of Justin Tucker kicking a long 60-yard field goal, who knows what's gonna happen? Yes, sir. Spam the comments. JC said, "My man, you are the best." Thank you, bro. I try to be. I try to be, bro. Sean, what's up? He says Chase, AJ Brown, DK Pittman, IU pick 3 for next season. I like that. I like those type of questions. That's what makes me great. I can do that. I'm going with Ayuk, Pittman, and Chase. Ayuk, Pittman, and Chase. Jerry, what's going on with you, Jerry? He says, "What up, my guy? Appreciate all the great content. Thank you. Thank you, Jerry." Arami says, "Hit the like button, peeps." Yes, sir. Let's get the likes up. Yes, you. Thank you. Isaac preaching. Isaac, I mean, that boy is, listen, he got that Eli Manning in him. It's certain quarterbacks, when they get in playoff time, they dangerous. Reason why Flacco will put the ball up in the air. That's what I like about him. He not scared. He don't play scared. Eli Manning don't play scared. Eli Manning ain't never played scared. Eli Manning don't care how. That's why he led the league in picks. Same thing, Brett Favre. Joe Flacco went later in his years before he went to the Browns. He led the league in interceptions a couple times before Lamar took his position. That boy would put the ball up, and sometimes I like going down with the type of ship. I like a guy like that. But it runs its course. Sometimes you got to move on from that, especially when they get older. Sean says, pick 2 running backs for next season. Henry, JT, A-Chain, ETN. I'm going with A-Chain and JT. A-Chain and JT. Yes, sir. Spam the comments, guys. Put the 100 symbol. Let me know that you support your boy, your bruh. Jerry says, Thielen or really without T-Law. I'm going with Thielen. I'm going with Thielen over T-Law. Slightly. Flying around. There you go. That's what he do. He know that defense. Them boys is flying around. That's why I'm willing to play him. And I'm nervous because I'm like, the Raiders? I'm going to go down with the Raiders? Yeah, I'm going to go down with the Raiders. Ian said, if Kamara's sick, should I switch to Ty Chandler? It just depends on what happens in practice, bro. That's something we're going to have to talk about on Sunday morning. Right now, no, don't do that. Right now, we still riding out with Kamara. Yes, sir, Harambe. All day. JC said Birds or Rams defense. I'm going with the Rams D. I'm going with the Rams D. Second take. What's up, bruh? He said ETN, Mostert, Pickens, White, need 2 PPR. I'm going with White and ETN. I'm going with White and ETN. Second take says, also, I got TJ Hawkinson in Pitts. I know people will be like, well, he ain't doing nothing. If I can get him off the waivers after my number one tight end go down, shoot, I'm riding that out. Yes, sir. Guys, give second take a shout out. The guy played in my list of the leagues, and I only won by like 7 or 8 points. He had a great team this year. And I think he's got a chance to play for third. I made it to the championship in that basketball league. But guys, next year I'm a member, and you got to at least sign up as the $10 crew. So you sign up for that, then you can get in my list in the leagues, but you have to stay on the membership tier the whole year while you playing. After this year is over, you can do whatever you want to do. But in order to get in my list in the leagues for next year, guys, you got to sign up for that. And if you sign up for the Phenom crew, you get into better prizes. That's the $20 tier. You get better prizes doing that. So make sure you sign up for my best ball tournament, kind of like underdog, where I might have 4 or 5 leagues, and then as people win, I bring them all together into one league and see who the champion and give out a nice prize. Second text says, also I got okay, yeah. And it says White meaning Zamir. Oh, Zamir. Oh, and I'm still going with Zamir. Okay. I'm still going with Zamir White. I'm still going with Zamir White and ETN. Appreciate that. And JC said CA questionable now. Yeah, I saw that, but I think he's gonna be okay. So you can still play CEH. I think that's just something he going through, like a little knick-knack injury. They have to report it. I don't think it's nothing major. Yeah, we got to keep watching. If we find out it is, you always got to have a backup plan. You're in the championship. Secretary says Mims about to have a day. I think so. I think it's possible. That's why I'm willing to play Jared Stidham. I think Jared Jeudy and Mims has a really good week. Play Jared Stidham. I could be wrong. I'm gonna go down with that ship. If I lose my championship over that, I do. He says I have Pacheco too. Yeah. So Pacheco gonna be out, but if Pacheco is active, then I wouldn't play CEH anyway. Yeah. So it's whoever plays. Right. It's basically whoever plays, and if the other one's out, if they both active. Secretary says no. Sutton, new quarterback, and playing against the Los Angeles Chargers defense. You're right. No Sutton, new quarterback. I agree with you. That's why I like Stidham. He says rookies mostly go off the last couple of weeks, right? Because they trying to get these guys, see what these guys got, what they about. All right, guys. So I've been live for about 45 minutes. I don't see any new questions coming in. I'm ready to get off of here, guys. I'm gonna try to do it live tonight. I'm probably gonna do. He says, "How many leagues you in the chip?" 5. I'm in the chip with 5 leagues. I wanted to show. Dickinson says, "How do you feel about Mostert?" I like Mostert. I like. Okay. First, I'm gonna talk to Second Take about how I'm in the league. So I'm in 5 leagues, 2 dynasties and 3 redrafts. I'm gonna show. I was gonna do a video on that this week, but I know y'all need that gas. Y'all don't want to hear me sit around talk about with my teams. So I'll be doing that next week. I'll be doing a lot of reflection videos next week. How do I feel about Mostert? I like Mostert, but I'm lowering my expectations. I'm looking for him to give me 10 to 12 points. I'm okay with that. I don't expect him to go and have 30 points or anything like that or 20 points. It's going to be a little bit tough. He still can get off. So he's a must start, but as far as output, it doesn't really matter. I know he's just a must start. If he balls, he balls. You got to start him. There's no way I'm sitting him. Yes, sir, Harambe. Dirt Boy says K9 or Zimbrick over him. Nah, don't do that, bro. I wouldn't do that. Now, listen, could it work out? Yes. I just don't. I'm gonna tell you not to sit most it. But I always tell people who follow my channel, hey, do what you need. Do you follow your gut? I don't know everything. Do what feels good to you, where you can go down with that shit. If you lose, you okay. If you play Herbert and most of the ball, if you, that's gonna be your fault. You shouldn't play it that way. So no matter what happens, if you play Herbert, then ain't nobody can say nothing to you. You went down with your ship. You wanted to play Herbert. You thought that was a better matchup for whatever reason. That's fine. Me, I'm not sitting Mostert for no Herbert. I'm not sitting Mostert for nobody. It would have to be like a CMC or somebody like that, right? He's a top 5 running back. All right, guys, we'll get out here. Y'all guys be safe. Peace.